Hey beautiful, welcome to my channel. I'm Nozipo Savanda, and today I wanted to share with you something that has been heavily on my heart. I realize that a lot of us tend to go through this, especially when we are getting out of our comfort zone and just putting ourselves out there and doing things that we normally wouldn't do. And I just wanted to bring this word of encouragement to you because it definitely speaks to me, and I hope that it touches you as well. So in college, I was on the acrobatics team, kind of like gymnastics team, and we would go on tour a lot. Now, I was scared of some of the moves that I had to do, and this particular time we were going to be doing the halftime show for the Indiana Pacers, and that show was really monumental for me because that was one of the shows where my family actually got to attend, and they were able to watch me and my team perform. I think at that time it was like with my mom, my cousin, and my sister, and I was gonna be performing some moves that were so hard for me. Well, I shouldn't even say so hard, but I was just scared to perform them, right? Of course, I have been practicing them, been doing them correctly, but for some reason, these particular moves scared me so much that whole day leading up to our performance, I was a whole big, huge ball of nerves. I couldn't eat. I felt like I just wanted to throw up. I was constantly thinking about everything that could possibly go wrong, and how about if I land on my face, or how about if this move doesn't go the way that I wanted to, or I don't land this move, and all that kind of stuff. Like, that was what I was thinking the entire day, and I was just feeling so sick. I just wanted to crawl and hide somewhere and not have to do this show. And I felt this way up until we were about to go in and perform. And literally, like 2 minutes before we have to perform, I always say this prayer, and that is, Lord, I can do all things because you are my strength. And I kept saying that over and over and over again. And as I was saying that, my mind was now focused on something else. I wasn't focused on all of the things that were going to potentially go wrong. I was focused on that, God, yes, I can do these moves. And we went out there, we got the show started, and sure enough, all my moves went the way that they were supposed to. I felt good about them during the show. I was just getting from move to move to move, and it was all a success. And it got me thinking after the show, and I was just like, wow, like all day I was worried and scared about doing this show. And I was thinking of everything negative that can potentially go wrong, and scaring myself to the point where I was even thinking about, well, how can I possibly get out of doing this show, you know? And imagine, I would have missed out of performing in front of my family and missed out on a wonderful performance that we just did because I was so in my feelings and I wasn't thinking about the things that were true. And how many times do we do that in our own situations where we feel like we're incapable of doing something that we already really know how to do? And we're focused on everything negative that can go wrong, and we end up scaring ourselves into thinking that we are not capable of doing better, of changing our lives, of getting into that business that we've always wanted to do, of even writing that book. At the end of the day, what happened to the things that are true that we need to believe? What happened to focusing on the outcome that we actually want? At the end of the day, everything is going to work out for you because you love God and you also believe in His will for your life. You understand that your desires need to match His. And because they match His, everything is going to fall into place the way that it's supposed to. You don't have to fear about what can go wrong. You've got to look at what can go right. What has God put you through? What experiences have you gone through that have allowed you to be able to be where you are now, fully capable of doing the very thing that God has positioned for you to do? You've got to believe in the process that God has taken you. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe what He's doing in your life. And all that chitty chatter that we keep telling ourselves in our head about what can go wrong, all of that is irrelevant. Can any of those things potentially happen? Yes, they potentially can. But you know what? If you are doing things that are in line with God's will, all those things will work themselves out. Everything that you think was a failure will not be a failure because it's a part of God's plan. It's a part of where He's transitioning for you to be in your life. So you've got to continually think about things that are true. Think about God's promises that He has given you. Cling on to them for dear life, because that is what's going to keep you going. That's going to be what's going to allow you to reach certain goals that you have for your life. That's going to be a big part of what's going to allow you to transition your life into a life that's better, a life that's more fulfilling, and a life that's out there to help people. Focus on what can go right. Focus on what God has told you to do. Focus on the end result, not the process of getting there. And at the end of the day, God has given you the ability to succeed. And so all you got to do is trust Him, believe in His plan, and move forward. So I want to know for you in the comments, what truth is specific to you that you tell yourself in order to keep going? So for instance, mine is, I can do all things because Christ is my strength. So let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. All right, bye.